Hang on. Shall we try that again? Dear me. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. Yes, in the last episode we had continued on with Ace Attorney's Spirit of Justice with case number 5, Turnabout Revolution. And we were just about to cross-examine the man, the myth, the legend that is Dirk Sarmadi. But then Apollo proved that there might have been a third party in that tomb, because I presented the blood, the mysterious blood stain. Very fascinating. Go on. I do so love a good fairy tale. We did a luminol test at the crime scene, and we found a bloodstain that didn't match the Justice Minister's blood. I will remind you that neither Dirk nor Miss Fay were injured during the incident. The thing is, this bloodstain we found had been wiped by someone. Was this? But who would have done such a thing? Well, that's the big question, isn't it? Who wiped up the blood and why? Thinking about it logically, there must be someone who wanted to conceal their presence at the scene of the crime. And to whom do you suppose the bloodstain might belong? The bloodstain belongs to the real killer. The bloodstain belongs to the real killer, of course. Whoever it was, they were probably shot while they were attacking Minister Inga, and since their blood would give them away, they had to wipe it. I say this because we know for a fact that the Justice Minister fired his gun in the tomb. You have a memory of a flea. There is nowhere for anyone to hide. This too is a known fact. But a bloodstain from a third party means there must have been someone hiding there. Very well then, tell me this. Where was this third party hiding? Oh, the crime scene was thoroughly searched after it was discovered. So, if there was a hiding place, it would have to be somewhere no one would dare look. No one would dare look. Several answered events. I think so. It's either the sarcophagus or this, the broken statue thing. I'm kind of leaning towards this broken statue because this is cold. How would anyone have hidden there? Well, think of it this way. The killer could have hidden anywhere. I'm afraid I don't follow. The killer's a dwarf. That means the smallest of spaces can't go hide in place. By dwarves, you mean those little people who appear in fairy tales? Exactly. That's all the mystery surrounding this case. After the royal guard stormed in, the dwarf escaped through the partially open door. Or clung onto one of the guards when they were leaving. What nonsense. Dwarves make off with your brain defense. You can't unequivocally say there wasn't a dwarf there, can you? Just as you can't assert there was one either. Oh, right. Let's just forget I said that then. All of justice is no place for flights of fancy. There's one place no one would search, not even the Queen's Royal Guard, and that would be... But it's cold! They would perish inside Queen Mara's sarcophagus. Even now it's locked up tight. No one would find you if you hid in there. I'm told it's temperature controlled to preserve the mummy within, but if someone dressed warmly enough, they could withstand the cold for a short time. This is sacrilege. Surely the perpetrator of such a foul deed would be cursed. That's just it. The killer knew everyone would be too scared to open the sarcophagus. True. The guards were so scared of being cursed, they wouldn't even touch it. And when the coast was clear, the killer made a quick escape from within their frigid confines. Well now, that does sound like a plausible method of evading capture. Events requests DNA test on the bloodstain. I want to see who the real killer is. Bow your head and kneel, lawyer. So your head may be parted from your shoulders. Huh? The trial's not even over. Oh, Jesus Christ. Wind! How soon you forget you are already on the headsman's scaffold. As such, I could order your beheading at any moment. All I did was request a DNA test. There is no need to request such a test. Royal Guard, bring it forth now. Here you are, Your Eminence! The police have already identified the source of the bloodstain. The DNA test revealed the blood is of the traitor, Dirk Sadmarty. What? Dirk wasn't even injured, so where did his blood come from? Maybe he coughed it up. Dirk's illness. Still, there's a lot of blood. Could he have really coughed up that much? Did he wipe it to hide his failing health? Dirk. Oh, shoot. You got me. Pay attention, Horn Devil, for this case has already been solved. You claim this bloodstain would lead us to the real killer, do you not? About that. Did you or did you not make that claim of your own volition, defense? Yeah, I did. After she steered you in that direction, that is. Fell right into a trap. Do you see now? The folly in opposing the embodiment of the law. Whatever you say or do shall come to no avail. The third party at the scene of the crime? It's beyond the realm of possibility. No! Praise be for Queen Garan! Her Eminence's legal tactics are beyond compare. I hate to say this, but she really got us good. The key to Amara's sarcophagus is under the protection of the royal family. My husband and I are the only ones who could open it. Therefore, it'd be impossible for some knave to open it. Can I really discount the sarcophagus as a hiding place, though? What if the real killer is still in there? Oh, that's just ridiculous. I believe we have rebels and sympathizers in the gallery today. It is to you I speak. Have you been listening, Dirk Sadmarty, the one who proclaimed the bloodless revolt, has betrayed your cause by resorting to murder? No, it can't be. Dirk would never. There must be some kind of mistake. The Divine Dragons and the sympathizers are starting to have doubts. So this is why Garan allowed us to cross-examine Dirk, establishing his guilt in Inga's murder. She's effectively damaged his reputation among those who support him. True, but now we even have an even bigger problem. And now, filthy lawyers, you will honor your end of the bargain. Accept your guilty verdict for your failure to explain your client's actions. Huh? Now, I shall pass judgment upon the criminal Dirk Sadmarty. What's this? You shall pass judgment? But, Your Eminence, is that not my role? Hold your tongue. You are but a figurehead before me, the embodiment of law. Consider yourself dismissed. As Queen of Coraine, I shall now pass judgment upon the accused. Wait, is that it? Is that it? I love the fact there's cheering, but there's supposed to be dead silence.
Objection!
Wait! You didn't even give me a chance to rebut. No, when you are defeated, lawyer. But just this once, I'm willing to show you the depths of my compassion. Tell me why I should allow these proceedings to continue. Come, convince me. Quick, Apollo! Even if you have to bluff, we've got to keep this trial going. Show that the crime could have been committed by a third party. How am I supposed to do that? Why don't you start with... how about the timing of Inga's murder? What? This whole case is built on a single premise. That Inga was murdered after Dirk entered the tomb. But what if that's not true? Like if our assumptions are all wrong? Just my work. Well, don't give us waiting defense. Dirk became the prime suspect because it didn't seem probable that there was the third party seeing the crime. But there is another question we should ask ourselves at this time. Was Minister Inga really killed after Dirk entered the tomb? What nonsense is this? Setting aside the assumption that the murder occurred after Dirk arrived on the scene, opens up the possibility of a third party committing the crime. The question before us is, when was Minister Inga really killed? Isn't it possible that before Dirk even set foot in the tomb, Minister Inga was already dead? That would certainly make the possibility of a third party more probable. Why, of course. I fell unconscious right after I entered the tomb. Even if I hadn't, I would have had a clear line of sight to his body from the entrance, which means you wouldn't have noticed his body either way. The scenario isn't entirely possible, and so we can't rule out a possibility of a third person committing the crime. I see. Well, that certainly doesn't make sense. So far, so good. This might actually work. Very well. So play along with whatever little game you have knocking around that tiny mind. I was starting to get quite bored of all this. I could do with a distraction. Yes! Let us hear some testimony that will shed light on when exactly the minister was slain. Bailiff, summon Rafer. Surely she has recovered by now. But what about me? Don't I serve a purpose anymore? Rafer. I hope you are feeling better, Your Benevolence. Must I perform the divination seance? What? Oh. We really require your testimony this time. How could my testimony be of any value? Your Benevolence? Mrs. Raven seems awfully depressed. Well, she's been through something her again. It's like rubbing salt in a wound. Being unable to perform the seance was probably the last straw. I hope she doesn't pass out again. Prosecutor Sarmadi, may I ask you something? Of course, Your Benevolence. I've been meaning to ask you this since yesterday. Did you know about Queen Amara and about me? Where did you hear such a thing? From Mother. And only yesterday. Raver was carrying on about telling the truth to the people, so I told her. I told her the truth, what the truth really was. For it is up to a mother to discipline her child. I see. Be that as it may, your benevolence, it has no bearing upon the trial here today. There's no need to let it trouble you. I know. Go on, told Rafer about something other than Amara's status? Sounds like it, but what could it be? Rafer, the defense was preparing something preposterous. And they somehow think your father was already dead when Dirk entered the tomb. But I believe you can prove them wrong. Are you prepared to do what is required of you? Yes, I am ready to testify. Very well then, your benevolence. Your testimony, if you please. On the day of the murder, I was gazing upon the courtyard on my second-floor veranda. Around 2:30 p.m., I saw my father heading for Amara's tomb. Then about 2:45, I saw Barbed Head and company enter the courtyard. I saw no one go in or out of the tomb after my father entered at about 2:30. The second-floor veranda? Oh, she must be talking about that house facing his private residence. That's the occasion for which you saw her father. And at about 2:30? Yes, and shortly after that, 2 people arrived at the royal residence. After the minister entered Amara's tomb at around 2:30, and no one went in or out of there until the murder was discovered. The tomb was closed to outsiders, so no one could have snuck in before the murder. And was that any possibility of a third party lying in wait to slay my poor husband? Or so she'd like us to believe. And now hear me, you useless liar. Cease this charade and bow before me. For I, Queen Garan, shall finally have your head. Leave me, your eminence, but first, let us allow the defense to question the witness.
Hold it!
You say you've been watching the courtyard until we arrived, correct? That seems like an awfully long time. There is much that weighs on my mind. I see. She does sound troubled. I don't think she ever fully recovered from the previous trial. Your benevolence, as Crown Princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy, what is true and what is false. It must embody what role you must play therein. Did it? I wonder if I'm even up to the task. Guess it's not that easy being a princess. Your benevolence? I'd be happy to lend an ear if you'd like to ever like to talk. What would you know of my woes? Do not presume to exceed your station in life. Sheesh, teenagers. Your benevolence, what do you witness from a veranda? Well,
Hold it!
did your father seem different or troubled in any way? Let me think. Oh, there was one unusual thing. There was? Yes, a shriek emanated from within my father's quarters. After which I witnessed him bolt outside. His countenance drained of his usual Oh, wait. 2 p.m. Damn it, Albie! He screamed and he was looking pale? What do you suppose happened? I know not. Perhaps he had a bad dream. Maybe it was a nightmare about being raked over the coals by the Queen. It seems our young lawyer here was just to hasten his journey to the Twilight Realm. Sorry. That was rude of me. But I don't believe the witness's last statement to be important. I believe it is. I would like the witness to try to tell her testimony.
Objection!
Damn it. Okay, it's not. Maybe I'm skipping ahead too much. Statement contradicts with this piece of evidence. Why do you think he screamed? Was he surprised by someone who didn't belong there? Did anyone else come out? I didn't see anyone else. Just my father. That statement was seriously lacking in conviction. Should he press her on this? I don't care. Press harshly. Your benevolence. Let's have some details. The more the better. Details, you say? Yes. For example, you sure you didn't see anyone in the royal residence before 2:30? Well, is that a yes or a no? Foreign devil, I'd been gazing upon the courtyard since about 2 yesterday. Yet I saw none other than my father. Oh, if I had stopped him then. I think you struck a nerve. Or rather, obliterated one. Maybe I pressed it a little too hard. Still, that last statement seemed a little off somehow. So you didn't see anyone except your father in the courtyard after 2 p.m., huh? He's out there to your testimony, your benevolence. So I had skipped ahead too much. I was too forward in my thinking.
Objection!
There we go. I could see what I needed to do before I needed to do it. Benevolence, you're covering for someone, aren't you? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, Rafa, but you're not gonna like this. Well, the thing is, I have a statement here that you might find interesting. It's from a witness who claims that around 2 p.m. his dog got loose and ran into the palace courtyard. That's when a little fellow stole this hat from someone. That's Nina's. I mean, nothing. Never mind. You fool of a daughter. Seems Princess made a blunder. So let me get it straight. This is Nina's hat, which means she had to have been in royal residence at around 2. If so, then you had to have seen Nina sometime after 2 p.m. yesterday. Oh, no! Please, your benevolence, tell us what you really saw. It is as you say, Hornhead. I saw Nina, and I saw that dingbat dog steal a hat from her in front of my father's residence. I knew it. Why didn't you say so in the first place? Because my mother told me not to. What? Do you care to explain, Your Eminence? I question she was hard-set information, for it is of no relevance to this case. You don't get to decide.
Insolence!
If you disagree, then prove it is relevant to the case at hand. Oh, I will. Your benevolence, please tell us everything you witnessed when you saw Nana. Alright. When I saw that dingbat dog attack Nana, I ran to help. I raced from my second floor veranda down into the courtyard. Wait, that means that while you were coming down, you took her eyes off the courtyard. Yes, but only for a moment. This is crucial testimony! If you took her eyes off the courtyard, it means somebody else could have entered the tomb without you ever knowing. Your benevolence, you sure no one else was there? Yes. She's hiding something again. What about Nana? Were you able to help her? When I got down to the courtyard, Nana was... She was gone. Gone? Yeah. And I never saw her again after that. Any idea what happened? That dingbat dog must have gobbled her up. I seriously doubt that. But how could Nana simply just disappear while Rafa wasn't looking? Rafa must know something. The only question is what? Why do you suppose Nana disappeared? Even an educated guess would help. For example, maybe she got fed up with you acting like a spoiled child. You know, something like that. Such impudence! Nana would not leave me merely for acting spoiled. Am I going to deny your behaviour? In any case, it seems I was wrong. Moving right along. You must know something. Where Nana disappeared to. Do you have any idea where Nana disappeared to? What do you mean? Well, during the time you took your eyes off the courtyard, someone could have headed into the tomb. It just so happens that Nana disappeared right at that moment. No. Wait, you think Nana had something to do with the murder? I don't think we can rule it out. Sounds like something that's had kept Nana occupied since the early morning. Plus she was seen right before the murder, and then seen to vanish into thin air. You're right. Since she's Rafa's attendant, she could come and go as she pleased within the palace grounds. Could Rafa's attendant really be the killer? I mean... First my father, and now Nana. These were the people I trusted most. Oh, look at the sea. Do not heed their lies. Lures are a foul breed, quick to claim that a third party is to blame for a crime. Nana did not enter the tomb, that much is certain. How can you be so sure? When Nana's hat was stolen, that crazed cur spilled an urn full of water upon my husband's doorstep. Is that not right, Rafa? Yes it is. While that dingbat dog was tugging on Nana's hat, it tipped over the urn, and the bottoms of her shoes would have been soaked with water. As you two headed to the tomb with wet shoes, she would have left shoe prints along the way. The only shoe prints to be found belonged to my husband, Inga. Huh? Then... That's right. Nina never did go into the tomb that day. Instead, she entered my husband's private quarters. How do you know? It's quite simple. Shoe prints were discovered in Inga's private quarters. Shoe prints that belonged to Nina. That's right. Judith and I did see some shoe prints in there. Now do you understand? Nina could not possibly have gone into the tomb. That supposed third person in the crime scene is but a figment of your imagination. Another glorious deduction! All hail genies, let us her eminence, Queen Garan! Bow down before her glory, witless lawyer! Could those guys fanboy any harder? But is it really true? Did they not go into the tomb? Excuse me, but is it right? Hey, Your Benevolence, what time was it when that dog attacked Nana? I believe it was around 2:15 p.m. I see. Apollo, Nina entered Inga's private quarters around 2:15, and Inga came racing out at around 2:30, pale-faced and screaming, then... I know what you're getting at. Yes, that might explain his scream. For the defense, please share their theory regarding Minister Inga's scream. Certainly, Your Majesty. No idea. Minister Inga screamed because he was attacked by Nana. Maybe he was attacked by Nana. So it made the Justice Minister's private quarters a real scene of crime. To your idiocy, no bounds, the Minister's body was found in the tomb. They should just say the body was moved. Do I think the Minister was moved from his private quarters? And the possibility does not exist. I'd say there's no way the body was ever moved. After all, there was an awful lot of blood in the tomb. I understand the scream was in reaction to Nana's attack. Inga died in the tomb. We didn't explain how these two realities could coincide. How are you supposed to do that? Oh, maybe where he was stabbed and where he died are two completely different locations. What do you mean? It's just... let's look at this as simply as possible. The Minister's body wasn't moved. He might have been stabbed by Nana in his private quarters, but then died in the tomb. I see. On the one hand, it seems plausible, but on the other, it seems decidedly implausible. Prosecutor Sabati, what is that fool babbling on about now? Is this a riddle of one of those fortune cookies Americans are so fond of? Perhaps, but I believe he himself does not know what he means. In all likelihood, it was a poor attempt to confuse us. We should simply...
Objection!
I wasn't finished yet, so hold off on the analysis, would you? The autopsy report never stated that the minister's death was instantaneous, so he could have conceivably moved from one place to another after being stabbed. Oh my! This thing who ran all the way to the tomb with a knife sticking out of his back? Well, yeah. That's the gist of it. In short, Minister Inga saw Nana with a knife. That our scream, and when he turned his back to her to flee, right, that's when he was stabbed from behind. Well, Your Majesty, does my theory hold water?
Such insolence!
How dare you bore me like this? Huh? You are a humorless moron spewing an endless stream of unamusing drivel. I wasn't trying to be funny, Your Eminence. Prosecutor, enlighten this ignorant clown in lawyer's clothing. Your Eminence. Ha! Nayuta? You dull, slow-witted, putrid-minded lawyer. Perhaps you would be too stupid to notice that you had been stabbed in the back. Wait a minute. Okay. But a normal person would have noticed due to the excruciating pain. Now hold on. Allow me to teach you the meaning of pain. Please stop! Nayuta has a point, though. Normally most people would notice a dagger in their back. Yeah! Don't anyone can ignore pain like this! Still, in this case, it's the word normally that we should emphasize. Apollo, take another look at the court record. Right. There must be something that explains this. His reasoning, it didn't feel any pain. The defense will submit evidence proving just that. Very well, please present your evidence. Why didn't Justice Master Inga notice that he had been stabbed?
Take that!
Those are my father's painkiller shots. Evans will explain the significance of this evidence. Mr. Inga suffered from terrible back pain, so he often injected himself with these. We're told that one shot in the back would make all his pain go away. With this, it's easy to explain what happened. Don't tell me you didn't know about these remnants. You can't mean... Mr. Inga was stabbed in his back, close to where he usually injected the painkiller. Therefore, it's entirely possible that he hadn't noticed that he'd been stabbed. What's this? And then, is this Justice Master Inga really ran off with the knife protruding from his back? I am, Your Majesty. So then, when I saw my father, he had a knife sticking out of him. I mean, with the cape of his, I couldn't see his back very well. Yes, the knife was there. It was just plunged in so deep you didn't notice under the cape. Therefore, when you saw your father, he was already dead. Murdered by Nana in his private quarters. Pokunka! Holy mother of Korea! Are we dealing with a living dead here? Well, technically he wasn't dead yet. I know, it's hard to believe, but this is a plausible sequence of events. And once Minister Inga arrived at the tomb, he could have removed the knife and dropped dead from blood loss. But Nana killed my father? There must be some mistake. The defense would like to call Nana to the stand. You seek to drag an innocent old woman to the stand with no proof whatsoever? Well, there's no real proof, but... What a tangled web of expedient lies you weave. I can no longer tell fact from fiction. Who or what shall I believe in now? I'm sorry, Rafa. All I've done is confuse you. But I have a sneaking suspicion Nada's involved in this case one way or another. Just when I thought we'd blown this case wide open? Well, there's no turning back now. You fool of I am. I know I was desperate to prove the accused innocent. You do? Yes, because you face this public execution if proven guilty. I assure you under stipulations of the Defense Capability Act. From the moment you accepted this case, you have had no choice but to fight for your lives. No, civil fighters have always believed that Dirk is innocent. Still, you cling to your pretense. Very well, I shall offer you a bargain. If you would admit the accused is guilty right here, right now, I shall overlook your crime of abetting him, and he will not be subjected to execution. Is this some sort of joke? Far from it. As Queen, I have the power to grant pardons, even to criminals like you. With a wave of my hand, I can even reduce the severity of a sentence. Perhaps even for Dirk, should you be willing to cooperate. She wasn't kidding when she said that she's the law here. But to flaunt that power in our faces like that, that's just wrong. Forget all that has transpired in our kingdom, and return to your own country in peace. Well, you abandoning your defense of the accused to accept my generous offer? I don't take this deal will be executed along with Dirk if he's found guilty. What should I do? We'll be executed if we lose this trial. Or Trucy will lose her father? I'd feel bad for Athena too. Besides, life is precious. It's something you should gamble with. Still. I made a promise. There's one more person I can't abandon in this time of need. Which leaves me with only one choice. Nice try, Graham. But it looks like you don't know what justice is made of. We won't kowtow to threats like that, Your Eminence. That's right. I'm sorry, but I can't back down now. I don't want to drag you into this, so... Alright. I'm with you, Apollo. To the bitter end, if need be. And while I can't say I'm used to it, this isn't exactly my first rodeo. But if I felt guilty, you'll get the death penalty too. Even though now you still want to defend me? I don't know what happened in the past, but it looks like everyone in this country considers liars to be liars. So I can understand if you don't believe me. But I still believe in you and your innocence. All I have to do is keep believing it and find the truth. That's all there is to it. So keep on fighting, Apollo. You'll hear no objections from me. You nincompoops. You'll die if you lose this case. Why do you even entertain the notion of continuing? I believe that Dirk is innocent. That's why. Besides, Charles exists to give the truth a chance to get out in the open. Don't give up just because you're afraid of some punishment. Even if that punishment is death? Does that not frighten you, Hornhead? Who wouldn't be scared? You're just thinking about it. Makes me weak in the knees, to be honest. But as a lawyer, I have a duty to protect my client. I can't just abandon that. A duty you're willing to die for? And yet Duty. It's a heavy burden, alright. It looks like she's really struggling. Literally just did this. Literally just. But it's not a surprise, considering the torrent of painful truth she's had to face. Very well then. The defense is prepared to face the death sentence of the Defense Culpability Act. I see no reason not to continue with the proceedings. But I must admit, I see no grounds for doubting the accused's guilt. Unless the defense has further evidence that would indicate a different suspect. Do we have anything like that? Hang on. I don't know. Do we have anything like that? I know it's been a bit of a shorter episode, but this is where I'm going to leave off for today. I know, as I say, it's been a bit of a shorter episode, but unfortunately I have work to go to. I would have done a live stream earlier, but then I got caught up in work, annoyingly. But if you guys did enjoy this episode, please don't forget to leave a like, notified when a live stream or upload a video, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.